Hmm.
See a couple of people who are up in the United States. 56 FV is in Freeland, Pennsylvania. And Veda Pinata is in the United States as well. Where? What state, my friend? We've got Mick, I can't pronounce, Garouche. They are a McLaren supporter. Theo is a Williams supporter.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with it for this season. I'm definitely rooting for McLaren. I feel like they are the one this week to break things up and make the championship fight kind of exciting. After Let's Race, let's say make it exciting from P2 on, because it seems like Red Bull has just killed it once more.
And it's really basically Red Bull to screw it up to let the other teams in at this point.
Yeah. So yeah, I think I'm gonna do it kind of the same way as I did it with the last season. I'm just going to ignore whatever is happening in P1, maybe P2, and focus on everything that's behind it, because this seemed to be fairly interesting in Bahrain.
So we got our first cars out on track. I believe that is going to be Bottas, Hamilton, and Joe are the ones first out on track. Is that Hamilton for a practice start from pit lane? I think that is. Yeah, that was Hamilton on the practice start.
Yeah. It seems like you're about 10 seconds ahead of me.
And it looks like George went out on a practice start.
No, it was Hamilton. Like,
Hamilton was previous. There was another George. No, Russell's not out. Then who did I see go out? Um, but at this point, basically, cars are getting out on track, doing their first lap before doing a possible fast lap. I think Bottas is the one who's about to go around about to cross the line for the first time. He's on a medium tire. So is Ocon, Gasly, Hulkenberg, and Albon. Hamilton, Joe, Sainz, and Oscar are on hard tires at this point. You've got more people coming out. So couple drivers are going to be going out and doing a single lap. They're basically doing an installation lap they're making sure that the engine's okay um, on that first lap, and then they're coming back in, and ultimately they'll be doing more work on the car after that. Did anything come out of preseason testing or last week that you want to highlight? You're seeing that you saw?
I didn't really get to watch preseason testing. Like, I had them running on the computer. Just basically next to me was listening to the commentating while I was working, and it's not really. I feel like it seems like McLaren is going to have a very good season, because it's the first time in a while where they just have their stuff together at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, the
You
past
know,
2 years specifically, they were not together.
yeah,
They
they always just had these very weak starts, but then really developed the car into something great that might be challenging for a championship towards the end of the season. And now that they came out of the blocks firing, basically, I am hoping for them to yeah, bring a challenge out to Mercedes, to Ferrari. Maybe even have Aston Martin up there with them.
Yeah, we definitely have the last race basically set basically the top half of the grid and the back half of the grid. So we know Red Bull, Ferrari, McLaren, Mercedes, uh, and the Mercs basically are in that first half. And then we've got the other five being, again, we've got, and I would say of of that next group, we've got um, Stake and Williams up in that second group of the next half, and then we've got issues behind them.
Yeah, I was fairly surprised the last race when I've seen where VCARB actually ended up. That I did not expect them to be that fast, to be that slow, basically.
Yeah, that was definitely something to see that they weren't as fast. They didn't qualify well, and they didn't have race pace, and that was definitely not expected. And then on top of that, we've also have to talk about the elephant in the room with them is basically Yuki exploding and acting horribly during the race when race orders were given. Um, yeah, it's one of those. Ricardo after the race said basically they had talked about it before the race. He knew that that was something that could have happened. Ricardo was on a different race strategy than him, potentially be faster, and he was on those hard tires. And straight up, Yuki basically wasted a lap of those tires, and they fell off just enough that Ricardo wasn't able to catch. I forget who was in front of him, but wasn't able to catch anyone else after that point.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of understand Yuki's frustration with it because I I think the call should have been made about 2 laps earlier. To really get the tires going, get them both out of there, get Ricciardo past on the faster tire, and keep Yuki with a fighting chance. And with those 2 laps, they have been waiting. Basically, both of their tires dropped off into a dangerous area. And then with that lap where Yuki was kind of a little bit, let's say, fighting the orders a bit, that just that ended it. They might have well have not made the call at this point. So I can understand the frustration from the both of them. I think Ricciardo himself was surprised that the call has been coming that late, and did not think that it will be made at all.
Yeah, and again, I don't know. I mean, it comes down to for me. We know there is potentially that second seat next to Max is potentially open, depending on how Checo performs. Um, with how Yuki behaved, you just can't have that in that second seat up there.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you. That might be this could be the beginning of the end with Yuki with the Red Bull family. Quite honest, because like there's really no reason to have a driver who's going to be that hot headed.
Yeah. I mean, I think they learned their lesson with the young Verstappen to not have a driver that hot-headed, and yeah, I mean, Yuki's been patient. He's been waiting. He's been given his best and all, but I think I I wouldn't be surprised if he left, if he moved on, if he went for another team. I think that it's time for him. Yeah.
So we've got now about 5 laps. Again, we've been waiting a little bit to get times on the board. So we're 10 minutes into the session. So we've got Norris on top with a 131.804. Perez, well, Sainz just went second with a 131.968, fastest sector 3. We have Alonso right now burning fastest sector 1, sector 2. We'll see where he is. Perez is 3. Oscar just went second with a 131.922. We're gonna wait. We're gonna see where Alonso jumps. And Alonso is purple across the boards he's in the first one in the 130s with a 961. So the order right now is Alonso, Norris, Oscar. Hamilton just jumped to P2, so it's Alonso, Hamilton, Norris, Oscar, Sainz, Perez, Russell, Gasly, Leclerc, Bottas in the top 10 right now. Verstappen right now P12 with a 132. Let's see who else? Other notables. The VCARB team is 16, 17 at the moment. Haas is 14th and 18th. Stroll 9 is 19th. Though he has not done an actual flying lap as of yet. And Sargent, the other one, hasn't really done a flying lap yet, as of yet. We've got a poll right now. Who will drive for Mercedes in 2025? We've got the answers. The answers that you can provide are Max Verstappen, Carlos Sainz, Sebastian Vettel, and Andrea Kimi Antonelli. For those who don't know who Antonelli is, he is an F2. He's currently in F2. He is a hot commodity, up and coming driver, and I believe one of the things is, who is? It was Lance Stroll hit the side, had touched the wall. Notably, Lance also has Floviz paint on the back of his wing. How good that is now. Now he's just cracked the wing. We'll see. Looks like I think Ricardo's out there with Floviz paint on his wing as well. So we got some teams doing some aero work with Floviz. Basically, they put paint on the car or parts of the car, and they see how the paint moves across that part of the car, and by that, how it streaks, is what the data they're looking for. Again, Antonelli. Back to the poll. Antonelli is an F2 driver in the Mercedes Junior Driver Academy. He jumped over F3. He went to He didn't. He jumped over F3 to go into F2 because he's a hot commodity. So that's if you don't know who that is, there you go.
Yeah, I think Stroll has just tried some weight reduction or something.
We got people saying Lance strolling again. Some people think Mac will be in a Merc.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know with that whole return thing. I think it will be Verstappen going over to Mercedes. But
And
also,
why do you think Verstappen's going to jump ship? That's an interesting. That's like the wild card, and that's crazy that after what happened with his father last week, that kind of opened the door for that. But I don't. It's.
I just I don't really want to go all too far in depth about what's happening at Red Bull currently, as it's just lots of conspiracies and things being thrown around where I just feel it's not really fair to talk about that. But what I can say is there is chaos at the moment.
Yep. But
And I just feel like Verstappen wants to focus on becoming um a champion, world champion again. And I feel like he's gonna leave Red Bull because he will not think that they will be able to provide him with that, with all that internal chaos and power struggles. And if Horner stays, will other people leave? If Horner leaves, will they get another team lead that gets all these control basically down to be able to give that very unanimous line that you need to provide a car to win you a world championship and all that. And I just think he won't take that risk and jump ship, goes over to Mercedes. On the other hand, I do hope we will see a return of Vettel.
and one of the things that's in play here is that 2026 is a new set of regulations, engineering regulations.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that's in play is that if Max jump ships for this year, next year, 2025, it's basically he's got a year before those regulations kick in. People are asking why would Max leave if he has a contract? He does have a contract to 28, but all those driver contracts have all sorts of language in them about people being able to get out of that contract in various different ways. And it could be that Red Bull gets money. It could be, and there's different. Each contract is very different. So I can't tell you what would be to drop, for Max to leave Red Bull to another team. There are opt-out clauses, and that's just to be expected. Does anyone know how many wins Verstappen has in a row right now? I believe it is. He's got 8 in a row right now. I know he's 3 more to break the record. Now that means the wins carry from the previous season forward. So that's the issue here.
Ooh. I've seen an interesting thing here about what about Max following Honda and going to Aston Martin.
That
I
would
don't
be
think. I mean, yeah, I could see that happening in a way, but I do
oh,
not think that
the
Aston
one
Martin has the
problem.
budget.
The one problem with Honda is that when they said they were going to get out, they sold a ton of assets to Red Bull, and that's what um, basically Red Bull basically now has the Red Bull powertrain company, which is basically will link up with Ford, of course, with the chaos with Red Bull at the moment. Who knows if that's going to happen? This is one of those we're going to. Um, it's one of those. Basically, we're going to see what happens as this plays out. Let's get back to track right now. Russell has just topped the board. And so it's Russell first, Max second. Max is a 1/10, 1.13 behind Russell in his. Well, will actually be 1.1 behind Russell, and he's on another fly. Is he on another flying lap already? I believe so. But they're both on track right now, and it is on hard tires. So that's interesting to see at the moment. Number 3 right now is Leclerc, and these are all times in the 130. And Russell just improved this time to a 130.554, fastest in sector 2. Last right now, Oscar had the fastest sector 1 time. Who has the fastest sector 3 at the moment? We've about 20 minutes into the session right now. Again, this is the Racing 60 YouTube channel. You're listening to Grash, and I have Farrell, one of our. It's been a while since he's been here. He's and I'm glad to have him with me for this session. Farrell, what have you been up to in your spare time?
I have been building cars, basically. I unfortunately had to leave the Racing Statistics channel for the last season to prepare a big art piece I'm working on, where I am building basically a Mad Max-like armored vehicle from a Subaru Forester, which is in the goes now and should be finished within the month. I don't know if the link to my YouTube channel is in the description of the video or something, but yeah,
It is actually.
it is nice. So
Yes.
yeah, we just kind of switched over from Twitch to YouTube and are live streaming the build of that car. So if you want to come by and see me weld a lot and do some electronics, you can go and subscribe to my channel as well. No worries, I won't clash with the racing streams here because I actually want to see those sessions myself.
So right now we've got a couple people coming in the pits. Max just came in. I believe this is Carlos coming into the pit right now. Following right now on track. I believe that's Perez on track that we're following. Yeah, it is. And it's about a 332 in the speed trap. And I think
It is what speed trap?
it's the first speed trap. I believe it was Perez in the speed trap.
Yeah, Perez with a 335 kph. Ricciardo, fairly impressive with a 339 there. But I don't know. I'm not only watching on F1 TV. I also have some API access. So I do have 4 speed traps here for Sector 1, Sector 2, the finish line, and the official one.
Right now, all we have on track is Perez, Sonoda, and Ricardo on track at the moment.
Yeah, and Ricciardo being fast, at least in the speed traps.
He's just picked up speed. It looks like he's picked up speed in Sector 3. He could be, I'll see in a moment. Ricardo is possibly just starting a flying lap now. So in chat right now, you'll see people who have names in green. They're basically the individuals who have joined the channel. Basically, they're throwing a few bucks each month. Ooh, Yentel's just had surgery. Glad that you're here with us, and glad that you're doing okay. Rest up and get better. I want to thank again. Last year, I was in the hospital for 10 days, so I won't know that feeling of needing to recover. You guys here, and you guys were wonderful to me during that time. So same to you now, Yentel. Get better. My Boston accent.
And get well soon.
Those of you who just saw Rory just drop in chat a whole bunch of emotes. These are custom to our channel. So we actually do have a shoe emote. We have the box. Different cars, different driver emojis. These will change over time as different people come up and down in the rankings. The other thing that if you join the channel and you stay with us for more than a month, so basically month after month, you'll get a super chat for free, and that basically will give you a highlighted chat that we will shout out. Thank you, that's a thank you for being with us type member piece. I do have a member milestone chat. You will see people talk about points as a slash point command, and it'll show you how many points. Basically, being here in chat will get you points. The super chats and there's one other donations will also add to that total as well. At the end of the year, basically, we take the list of the top 20 and we throw them into basically a simulated race. And we haven't done last year's simulated race yet, but that is on its way soon. So we've got Alonso on track right now, and Ricardo's still on track. Bottas has joined the track. And is he? I'm not trying to figure out if he's still on his outlap. Norris has joined the track. He's on his outlap now.
We might see some interesting times from Norris and Bottas, who both are out on track now on the soft tire. I think the first soft runners in the session. Yeah. As far as I can see, those are the first soft runners in the session now. But
So
Norris
someone was asking about the fastest laps in Jeddah. The lap record is 1 minute 30.734, and that was Lewis Hamilton in 2021.
1 minute 30.7. The Russell's already quicker than that.
Yeah, I think that might be the race lap record.
Okay, yeah.
Final statistics, safety car probability. F1 is saying they're expecting to see at least one safety car. They've got 100% safety car and a virtual safety car probability of 67%. And part of the reason for this is that Saudi Arabia is a tight circuit. I know that they like last year they actually changed this. So they did the first race at the end of 2021, and then 2022 was where it is now on the calendar. But last year for the circuit, they actually made changes for safety reasons. But even still, these walls it's a tight circuit. The walls are up close. It's not a forgiving circuit as well, and that's why if you're not comfortable with your car in any particular way, it's going to be brutal.
So yeah, Norris at the moment up by about 3/10 on the time of Russell. So there's some good new time posts incoming.
And Norris just set the fastest lap with 1:30.424. So it looks like that. If that again, I'm reading what the lap record from F1. For basically we've had basically a different winner each year. So we've had Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen, and Sergio each winning in the first three editions of this this Grand Prix. Will we see someone take their second win on this track? We could see another winner. That could also be possible too. Royce is asking, what's the chance of a shoey this year? That's I don't know if we're going to see a shoe.
Low.
It's low.
It's very low.
If Ricardo gets on the podium, he might just do it just for the sake because it's him. Albon just jumped up to P3. He's head of both of the Red Bulls, Perez and Verstappen in that order. He did a 1:30.747. He did that on a soft tire. I know Perez and Verstappen were not on soft tires, or I think they were on hard tires.
Yeah,
Alonso's still on a hard tire. It's note that Bottas is 11th. Joe just came out, and Sargent just came out. So Bottas right now is the only other driver who's done any significant laps on that soft tire. We'll see where Joe and Sargent are. Sargent is starting a fast lap, not a fastest lap. Again, he's like 3/10 off of what Albon did in Sector 1. So this may not be. It will be a good lap for him, but not a very fast lap. Again, he's already like a second behind where Albon is already. Joe has not come around he's still on an out lap, so he hasn't started a full flying lap yet.
I don't know. I just see Zhou Guan Yu going around the track, and I don't like the steak livery when it's light outside. Car looks amazing in the dark, but not good at all in sunlight.
Clock says the young will eat walls. Oh my god, that is so true. Right now, Clock is winning chat. One in chat asked, do you think Ford would draw their partnership with Red Bull Racing because of all the issues they have? Basically, Red Bull Racing is in chaos at the moment. And the chaos is coming, again, when Dietrich died, basically, the successor, it's somehow that was not clear. And we've got apparently two factions within that organization vying for control and influence. And that's the bigger story here. We can put Horner aside, but we can basically there's a struggle for control within the Red Bull, and not just the team, that one team. We're talking about the team and the corporate, the drink manufacturer as well. So that is the issue we're dealing with. Ford are only the third best engine manufacturers in F1. Again, that's historical. That's historical. And again, by the way, it speaks volume because coming back with an untested. Again, Squire is talking about them in a historical sense. We just finished the poll for who might drive in 2025. 35% is going with Max. 32% is Carlos Sainz. 18% went with Antonelli, and then 12% with Sebastian Vettel. And then we had 3.1 thousand votes on that poll. So yeah, a third of you think might be Max. Third of you might think be Carlos. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, the fact that Max is the leading person in for that seat is crazy at the moment. Speaking of the devil, he's on track right now, and he's just flying first sector with 32.635.
Yeah, now the Red Bulls are coming out on their soft tires. I think this will I don't think that these times will be challenged to the end of the session.
And then at the second sector, Max is a 0.274 fastest right now on track. It
Yeah.
does not have the sector 2 time, but he has, and he doesn't hit the sector 3 time fastest sector, but he has the fastest lap with a 1:30.014. We will probably see the 1:29s in FP2 if we're hitting 1:30 now. We're only 35 minutes into this session, so Russell just did fastest second sector.
Yeah, looking at this, I think Verstappen might go sub 130 with a good third sector. Close. I was off by 14 thousandths of a second.
And Russell goes P1 with a 1:30.001. So he's 0.003. So not 1/10, not 1/100, 3 1,000ths faster than Max.
Who was 3 1,000ths faster than Max? You mean Russell?
Russell.
Okay, yeah, I'm a little bit behind your broadcast because on my screen, Russell is still driving.
He is still driving, but on the chart, it's showing he's
There we go.
Yeah.
Now I see it. Yeah, 3 thousandths of a second faster. That's close. So yeah, I retract my statement. But also, Russell got this whole time clawed in sector 2. Max has been faster in sectors 1 and 3. So it looks like Mercedes has found a mighty setup for, well, sector 2 at least.
So notably, Alonso's still on track. He's still on a hard tire on track. He's done like a dozen laps on that hard.
Yeah, 15 to be exact. Done 15 laps on that tire so far.
Bob Turn in chat says the FP1 last year was a 1:29.617. And then Tyrell is asking if it's possible for a 1:28 time. Not in FP1. We will probably see, if we get the 1:28, it'll be in FP2 or in quali.
Yeah. Also, what I find is interesting about this track is that we've been racing here 3 times only. So it's kind of hard to get statistics out, and the only one really holding a legit record on this track is Sergio Perez, who has had pole 2 times.
We just had Hamilton jump to P4 with a 1:30.257. And then we've had Leclerc improve. We've had Stroll just improve. I'm trying to think. Oscar's on a flying lap right now. So he's 3/10 off of Russell's, about 3/10 off of Russell's sector 1 time. Look like he abandoned second sector.
So you think Piastri will post it in somewhere around P4 with Hamilton?
No. We'll see. It doesn't feel like that's likely at the moment. We'll see. We'll see in a moment where he posts. He posted to 11th with a 1:30.977.
Oof. Yeah, okay, so the rest of the track wasn't really in his favor as well. But it seems they've also made some setup changes here because this is his first run on a soft tire, and he isn't even really improving his personal times here.
Looks like he's on a flying. He's improved in his sector 1 times. He's on a hard tire. He's improved on a sector 2 times on a hard tire. So Perez has been on a hard tire for 13 laps.
Yeah. Delusion in chat asks if the races are now earlier by 1 day. I think it's only for the Arab countries, as they are having some festivities.
Delusion. So basically, this race had to be pushed back 1 day for religious reasons. And because this race got pushed back 1 day, they needed to push back the previous race 1 day. And yeah, that's basically the 2 races that have been shifted. The next race after Saudi Arabia is going to be Australia, and that's going to be in its usual time. Now, granted, it will be back to normal, but normal for Australia is different.
Yeah, for the whole rest of the world.
So Max is talking about how the car is off around turn 13. He's just done fastest sector 1. He's improved, and he has sector 3. Does a lap with a 129.659. So we're already in the 129s. Go figure.
Yeah.
I mean, did a 129.659. That might be the time. We'll see. I mean, it could. Well, depends on how the track evolves. But we're in a 129. Yeah, we've got 19 and a half minutes left in this session. Again, this is the Race Statistics YouTube channel. You are listening to both Grash and me and Farrell. For those who haven't been here, Farrell has been a commentator on our channel. He hasn't been here in about a year or so. He wasn't here last season, but he's now back with us right now. We've got about 6,279 and about 725 likes so far. I like the stream. Oops. Want to thank everyone who's here again. You race fans in the race family. Thank you for being here and listening to us as we go through first practice. Is anything standing out as notable in the first 40 minutes of this practice session?
I don't know. You tell me. I haven't been very actively following Formula One the past year, unfortunately.
Just this session alone.
So far, standing out has been the radical weight reduction attempt of Stroll with that wall. Apart from that, I don't think anything really spectacular happened or anything like unexpected happened. It's cars. They made their runs. They posted their times. Now, towards the past 20 minutes, the track is fairly rubbered in, so everyone seems to have a go at the soft tire, trying to post some fast times. We got sub 30, sub 130. That's okay, but it's kind of to be expected as well with the cars getting faster.
I mean, for the most part, I mean the most drivers have done 14, 15 or more laps, with the exception of Stroll, who hit the wall, so he had time off track. The other two that are odd is Hulkenberg and Magnussen are not on track and have only done 11 laps each. And someone noted in we've noted that in track that they're not on track and they've only done a few laps. Alex X is Alpine going down again. Alpine actually right now is 15th and 11th, which is actually not. So Ocon did a 131, and Gasly's on track doing also has done a 131 as well. Both on soft tires. The VCARB team, Ricardo and Sonoda, they're on track, but they are on medium tires. So that is interesting. That they're doing something with the medium tires right now as opposed to soft with everyone else. Is there something going on with Haas that it's not evident for them not being on track? Did F1 TV report why they're not on track? Because that is interesting. They're at the bottom of the board, um, and it's been noticeable that they have been on track.
Yeah. No, I'm not really listening to the Formula One TV. I'm actually having it running just for on the FX channel, so I do not hear commentators there.
I think that the live commentary has something. No, Charles has not crashed. Oh, ooh, something that looked like it might have been a shadow. Charles just did a 328 in the speed trap. It looks like he ran over something. Um, Either he ran over something or it was a shadow.
That seems like it was just a plastic bag or something, trash bag or something like this.
Well, looking right now. One of the things that's going to is going to help with the track this weekend is we do have F2 and the F1 Academy racing this weekend as well. So they will be putting down rubber on the track as well. And yeah, it looks like a piece of plastic. But Kirk says the track, it's like Mario Kart. There are paper bags all over the place. A couple of you got hit with timeouts, and then the bot said that you were posting a link. You actually didn't post a link. The bot's doing is looking at periods and seeing if there's text on either side of it, and if there is, it thinks it's a link. It's not the best constructed bot, but it is the bot we have, unfortunately. So if you are typing sentence out, make sure that you are putting spaces after your periods. So Clerk is obviously coming into the pit because they need to clean out his car. Lonzo is on an out lap, and you can see the plastic bag on the car itself. Mingyu says science just fired a banana to the clerk.
Yeah.
It's just a banana, not a blue shell. So that probably would have hit Max if that had
Yeah.
been fired. So on track right now we have Norris.
Norris, Alonso, and Tsunoda. Ferraris went back into the pits to be cleaned off from the plastic debris trash they hit. Doesn't seem to be anything.
Gasly just got a black and white flag for track limits.
Yeah. Hey, Jose. Long time no see. How are you doing?
We're coming into the 11 minutes left in this session. Again, this is the Racing Tickets YouTube channel. You've got, this is Grash here, and I've got Farrell with me. Farrell's back after a year. Glad to have him back, to be quite honest. We are in Saudi Arabia for free practice one. The biggest thing right now is Stroll managed to hit the wall. Two, we had trash on track, and that made not Carlos. Charles basically managed to get a plastic bag on his car, and then at this point we've got Max on top with a 129. Alonso has just finally gone onto a soft tire. He does a 129.845. He's about 2/10 off of Max's fastest time. So with Max on a hard tire right now, don't expect him to improving his times. It's not going to be possible.
Yeah.
He's out there to pound laps on those tires to see what's going on. Album's out on medium tire, and Shinoda's out on a medium tire. Sargent's out on a hard tire. Sargent's about 10 laps already on that tire. So he's not doing a fastest possible lap. He's doing some sort of race simulation, or some other program that he's way down possibly. So that's what to expect with these tires at the moment. Norris is on probably a race simulation as well because he's done 10 laps on his soft tires he's on right now.
Yeah, we've just been asked in chat what the last time's pole time was 2023. You know that by heart?
I don't know that by heart.
You know, it was a 128.265 by Sergio Perez. His
Okay.
pole on the track.
I was saying track record might be breakable. Yeah, very much so. Again, the cars are like, even from last year, the cars are even faster than before. They're getting more downforce. In fact, last year Pirelli had to change tires in the middle of the year because the cars were putting more pressure and getting more downforce and getting faster than they expected. Jose's asking, did Ferrari finally fix Leclerc's braking issue? Yes, they have. Only for Leclerc to get a paper a bag onto his car driving around the track. Question says, Perez not getting a penalty for gearboxing. I wasn't aware that he had taken a new gearbox, but at this point in the season, that would not occur a penalty. That would be after, I forget how many. I'd have to look it up, but after a certain amount of gearbox changes, then
three gearboxes.
you would. Is it 3 gearboxes? Yeah. They changed the one they did change is they added an extra power unit for. I believe it goes from 3 to 4 this year. That's going to be a big change. That's going to prevent a lot of penalties this year.
Yeah, but it is also the longest season we've had in a while. So, or we've ever had, I think, even.
They wanted to do 24 last year. Unfortunately, we only got 22 because China last year was canceled due to issues with COVID and their regulations and whatnot. We could have had a China race. We would not have another race after that for several months. Basically, what would it amount to? And then Imola last year, due to flooding and rain, had to be canceled. So we had 22 races out of potentially 24.
Okay, yeah. So 24 races if there's no natural disasters. got that. But yeah, I think for 24 races, give it out 4 engines. One engine for like 6 races and all the sessions around. That sounds reasonable.
We've got about 6 minutes left in the session right now, and our top three right now is Verstappen and Alonso Perez. The next three are Russell, Leclerc, Sainz, and then Norris, Hamilton, Stroll, Albon run out the top 10. Haas has finally got back onto the track. Again, we noticed that they had only run 11 laps. Right now, Hulkenberg has 14 laps and Magnussen is 12. They are on medium tires, so they're not doing a quality pace. They may be doing a race pace through the end of the session. Simon's asking how is the penalty point situation? I don't. Nothing's changed. Again, no one picked up any penalty points in that last race, so that hasn't changed. Let me see. Right now, Sergio Perez 77 penalty points. September, November. So these are later this year. They will expire. Logan Sargent has 6 points. September, October. That's so later. Those will expire. Lance has 5 penalty points. These will expire in July and November. 4, we've got Hamilton, Russell. Again, July, September, May, November. So these are later in the year. At 3 points, you've got Yuki Tsunoda. And then with 2, we've got Bottas, Joe, Hulkenberg, Sainz, and Max. And then the rest have no penalty points. Of note, Nick DeVries still has 2 penalty points, and they will retire in 2020, July 2024. It's kind of interesting to know that for some reason. But at this point, with no points, we've got Albon, Alonso, Gasly, Leclerc, Magnussen, Norris, Ocon, Piastri, Ricardo with no penalty points on their license right now. People spamming chat for whatever reason. I'm not sure why.
I mean, they just really wanted us to know that they're a Max Verstappen fan, I guess.
Yeah. Just looking right now. No one right now has improved on their times at this point. Everyone is on track at this point. With 3 minutes left to go, that is to be expected. If anyone goes into the pits, it's basically possibly for a change of tires, but they'll come out and be on an out lap. Ultimately, with them all being on track, basically means we will probably see all of them do a practice start from the start line after the checkered flag is flown for this session.
Yeah, I am very concerned about VCARB. They do not seem to got their things together for this season. What do you think about that?
Yeah, it's odd because they're using a lot of the Red Bull parts. And we thought that car would be more of like the Red Bull 19, last year's Red Bull, than it is right now. And again, Ricardo has just come into the pits. Both Norris and Ricardo have come into the pits, and they're coming on an outlap now. So they've switched tires for some reason. We've got about a
Yeah.
minute left in this session.
Yeah, a minute 20. We do have pretty much all the drivers out on track at the moment, but they all seem to be out there on, let's say, a rather boring tires. So I don't think any spectacular things are going to happen.
Yeah, no one's doing a flying lap at this point. Again, it's mostly because of traffic, and then also this is not really a point where a blaze of glory. And did something happen with Oscar? Because he did come into the pits, or he's following along with him.
Do they still do the practice grid starts
They do.
after the free? Yeah,
Yeah, they
probably
will.
that's why they're out.
It looks like just so Oscar went over curbs pretty. Ooh, he scraped the bottom of his car across that top of those curbs. So
Yeah,
he's still on track. But hopefully they're going to be looking at that floor between
yeah.
sessions.
Uh,
It's got
they will be looking at
Alonso.
it, but I don't think anything all too bad happened to that floor. It was just the skid plank underneath it. It was a hit straight down the middle, so I do not think that there's any damage.
So Alonso has come into the pits. So he's not doing a practice start. Everyone else is still on track, and we're now taking time has expired. Now people are taking the checkered flag as they come across the line, and then they'll go again around one more time, and then they'll start doing the practice starts.
Right.
Again, this has been Free Practice One. There's been about over 5,000 of you watching right now. I want to thank those who've been here. We got over 875 likes. A few more likes if you guys haven't yet. It'd be great. If you haven't liked or subscribed, now's the time to do it. We've got over, wow, we have over 16,000 and a half now. Last I thought we were at 113. Wow, we've jumped significantly since I last looked at the subscriber number. Yeah, 116,000 can't be wrong, everyone. Come join the race fans. Those who can join the family. Those in green chat. I want to thank again, like Jose Paula, Anthony Deep. There's a couple more. A lot of new ones today. RS is here. NTS Bandit has been here. I know there was a ton more earlier, and I should have been taking down their names to shout you guys out. Rory is here as well. Thank you. Yentel's here as well. Thank you for those of you who joined the channel. Thank you everyone who's been listening and subscribed. When the stream stops, you'll be brought to our Free Practice 2 session stream. I'm just trying to think. Is there any again? I've had again Carl with us in the description. We have a link to his YouTube to the YouTube channel that he's working on. This is the art project where he's creating a Mad Max style car. I've been watching the stream. It's actually been really good. It's been fun. It's been a good time, fun watching the work. Is there anything you want to shout out before we take off, Farrell?
Yeah, no. If you care about like cars and art projects and wanna talk about stuff like this, want to see how I fail over and over and over again at mathematics and geometry, yeah, the channel is linked in the description. Come by, drop a sub. We have just switched over to YouTube, and I do have a Formula One mini seat to roll around in the workshop. So. It is kind of related to what we do here. Yeah, nah. apart from that, it has been great seeing y'all again. Unfortunately, I am off to work soonish, so I won't be here for FP2, 3. Maybe I can make it for quali. But yeah, my foot has been healed again. I am looking forward to come back, comment on another session again, but I do not know when this will be.
All right. Again, I want to thank everyone who's here. Again, stay here and stay with the channel. As soon as this session, this stream ends, you'll be brought to the FP 2. And then for those who still want to chat after chat closes on this session, there is a Discord channel. I've just dropped that into chat. Come join us over there. We will continue talking about things over there as well. Also, we've got a great humor channel as well. Lollipop, F1 Lollipop, posted his first video of the year, for race video of the year. So there we go. Again, for everyone, this has been Racing to the Future channel. We'll see you in FP2.
Yep. Thanks for being here. Drop a like, subscribe. Bye.